Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Anna. I'm a little bit spooky, and today we are doing espresso makeup. This is the older, serious, darker cousin to latte makeup. She just got back from college. It's the 90s. She's got a nose ring. Anyway, she's that hot older cousin to latte makeup, which, I mean, I love latte makeup, but she's got a softness to her. But this is like the badass version, right? Anyways, in today's video, we're doing this look. We're digging in our stash, pulling out some oldies with some goodies, just to create a look around this color story. The products really don't matter. It's more about the colors and just having fun with products we already own that maybe don't get utilized as much as they should. So yeah, that's kind of the premise of today's video. And we do a lot of chatting because I have had a lot of espresso today. I'm highly caffeinated. So we get a little sassy about some stuff that's Twitter drama stuff that I see, or X drama, shall we call it that now? That's just, I can't wrap my brain around. You listen to me fuss a little bit about that. We talk about aliens, because apparently those are a thing and no one cares. So we talk about that. And we just chat about life and what's been going on while I play with some makeup, stab myself in the eye multiple times, and yeah, maybe I should have less espresso before doing my espresso makeup, but here we are and it's done. So if that interests you, just go ahead, keep on watching, but before you do, don't forget to like and subscribe, comment down below, let me know what you think of aliens. And what do you think of espresso trends? Are there any other color stories you'd like to see me create a look around? I'm having so much fun with just the color trends rather than it being about product. I think that is just so much fun. And also the majority of the stuff we used today was drugstore. A handful of it was high-end. We're a little all over the place. Nothing is new. It's all just stuff that I've been holding on to and things that I enjoy playing with but just hadn't maybe had a chance to. So yeah, anyway. Without further ado, let's get into espresso makeup. Okay, so progressing from the latte train that I have been on so hard lately, we're gonna do espresso now. Espresso. I've got so many ideas just based around a basic brown smoky eye and naming it after various things you can buy at a coffee shop. We got matcha eyes coming up next. Today we're going to do espresso makeup. I pulled some products. The first palette that just jumped in my head was the Wild Child palette from ColourPop because of these two shades right here. These super dark espresso browns, and then we have this nice kind of camel shade we can use as a transition up here. I thought this palette just feels right, and this one is shimmery, so it has like a bit of a, or metallic, and it has a bit of a shine to it. I thought it'd be really pretty, and they're not necessarily warm or cool. They're very neutral. They really look like straight espresso in tone. And another palette, if you didn't have the Wild Child one or anything like it, the brown shades from this little elf palette here I thought would also be nice, like these shades, and then you can deepen it up with the black. This is the Bite Size in Truffles. I feel like that would suit the vibe, but these shades aren't super uncommon that you probably have them in your collection. But I feel like just digging in this palette is what jumped in my head, so we're going to use it, but this isn't going to be a product focused video. It's just more about the colors, and that's one thing I like about these types of videos is because you can dig in your collection and pull out stuff, and it's not product focused, it's color focused. So you can really like shop your stash and dig around and see what you haven't been using in a long time. I'm going to start with the eyes because we're getting smoky with it today. This is going to be sultry, smoky, and very dark on the eyes, and we're going to keep the eyes mostly matte. I'm going to use that metallic, but it's not a super shiny catch the light metallic. It just kind of gives a slight gloss to the lids, so we're going to kind of keep it a little low-key. We're not going to put any gold or anything like that on the eyelids. Yeah, I wanted the skin to be super duper glowy, so I'm letting my skincare marinate right now, and I have put a little bit of the e.l.f. Halo Glow liquid on the high points. and eyes are primed. So, and brows are on. Let's get into it. I'm also letting my brows grow out. And fill in. What do you guys think of that? I have very large and in-charge brows naturally. They're sparse, but they take up a lot of real estate. Like they start down here and they go all the way to my hairline, so I groom them quite a bit. And I'm letting the arches grow in basically. And I'm not mad at it because I'm grooming them just less. Like I'm letting parts fill in and just kind of trimming the hairs with scissors that are too long because my brow hairs themselves can grow very long also. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Just wanted your opinion on that. I'm going to start with the eyeliner. This is the Huda Beauty Creamy Kohl Liner in Very Brown. Any coolish neutral brown eyeliner would work. It's one of the most prevalent type of brown eyeliners you can find, that more black brown type of color. And I feel like it would just be perfect for this to start things out. And I love this formula. I mean, eyeliner you can get from basically any brand. It'd be set. So I'm just going to start out my look with this and get a really smoky base. But see how this brown is not warm. It's just very neutral, almost black brown. And I'm doing my little wedge shape out here like I like to do. But I'm going to really kind of go in with this step and let it be fairly strong. And bring it up to the crease and just a little bit past. And we go ahead and kind of blend that out and see where we're at. Does this brush have pink on it? A little bit. Oopsie. I used it to apply pink eyeshadow the other day. Build that up. And of course, this is not a step you have to do. This is just something I like to do personally for my, just my technique. I find it easy to have that dark base kind of mapped out of what I want to do. And it just gives like dimension to the eyeshadow. And I'm not being super precise. I'm just kind of scribbling it on and paint where I want the most pigment to be. And then kind of softening it out from there. So this step doesn't have to look super perfect. But I feel like if you kind of try to make it a little perfect, it makes things a little easier in the long run. You do take your time a little bit more. I'm almost done with this liner. Wow. I hardly ever use up an eyeliner. So has anyone else kind of just backed off on buying makeup lately? Like I've been on a bit of a unintentional no buy, but like a low buy. I haven't bought anything in like 2 months, I don't think, aside from like some refill stuff, you know, like just restocking on basic things that I use all the time. But I haven't bought anything new except for like, I think the newest thing that wasn't something that I already had in my collection that I was just replacing was the e.l.f. Brow Lift. Like I've just not been very excited. And I don't know, just been more into shopping and using what I have and loving what I have. And in this economy, girl, I can't be going crazy at the drugstore even, because the drugstore stuff gets so expensive, especially if you're like going to Walgreens and things are on sale. So I've been kind of restrained lately on shopping. I just haven't had the shopping bug either for makeup. Has anyone else been just kind of feeling that? And it's not like there's not new releases and stuff coming out. It's just, I just would rather kind of focus my, I guess, finances on other things. So that's a good little base started. So I'm going to dive right on in with this darkest shade right here. And I'm going to take it on this kind of, this like a, what do you call this? Packer brush type of thing from Real Techniques. Real Techniques does have a new brush collection that I think is so beautiful and I really, really want it. It's like their nudes collection. Oh, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. But anyways, I'm going to dive into this shade. I just saw it the other day on Ulta. I was just kind of like glancing around seeing like what is new out there. I was making links and you know, I go browse the new releases page or the new arrivals page a lot. And I was like, ooh, this collection is gorgeous. Like, I really want to get my little paws on it. Okay, so I'm going to pat that shade on to start. And I kind of put it just on like one side of the brush, not the whole brush. So we have like a part that's more pigmented, or more pigment focused. I'm gonna layer that over that liner. And the one thing I do like about doing liners is it does give you a little bit of a grippy base for stuff to stick to as well. Even if it's a liner that sits down, it still has a bit of a texture to it, and it can hold powders. And I'm doing the eyes first also because I'm using ColourPop eyeshadows and they are a little dusty and I get fallout like crazy from them. Ooh, another palette you could definitely, I think, do this look with would be the first Hocus Pocus one. That one would do good. I think it has a pretty dark chocolatey brown in it and kind of the right shades. That's such a good little palette. I love that first one they did. Like, it's so functional. It's like it's a useful palette. It's not just a bunch of rainbow crazy colors. It's very like a easy, accessible color story that's useful in day-to-day life and for like glam looks. Okay, that is looking good. I like the way this is coming together. Look at that. That's nice. So aliens, what do you guys think of that? I love how just no one cares, other than just memes. Everybody's like, hey, we don't have time for this, okay? Look, we've been through enough. Don't. just don't. What are you trying to distract me from? That's my first. I'm so distrustful of like everything all the time. And I've been like that since I was a little kid. And I can definitely explain to you why, because my parents hid like things from me about my like medical stuff. Like I had to go to like a lot of doctors and stuff when I was a kid, but nobody ever told me why and what was wrong. So my head immediately goes to everyone's hiding things from me. So I just naturally kind of have that very skeptical outlook on everything. Like, you're telling me this, but what are you not telling me? That's how I feel about the alien stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, but what are you not telling me? How bad really is it, guys? Come on, just give it to me straight, doc. And I'm not saying I'm not interested in like the alien stuff. Like I think it's cool, like hearing about it, but it's just funny the general reaction of something that if they had told us 10 years ago, everybody would have been like, holy shit, you know, it would have been a whole thing. And now, like, everybody's just like, you know, no, we got bills. Aliens gonna help out with rent? No? Okay, I don't care. Okay, that is, ooh, I'm loving the way this is going so far. I might get a fluffier brush. Preferably one that is not covered in pink. They're all pink. Everything has got pink on it. And grab this little Morphe brush and we'll just kind of blend these edges. I thought this was my Sigma one, but it's the Morphe one. So it's kind of rough. Alright, now I'm going to go into the lightest shade up here in the corner. Just a camel color. I'm going to take just a little bit of that. I'm going to use that around these edges to just buff it. Just to give a flow into the skin. And I'm most likely going to revisit that with bronzer and really get it nice and blended. And give it a very good transition into my skin tone. So I did go see Barbie, by the way. That was so much fun. Just me and my sister went by ourselves. And we had a blast. It was a great time. Everyone at the theater was dressed up. And this was like on the second week, too. People were still dressed up. I was like, yay! I got so excited. And it was such a cute movie. It was very cute. And I know people are trying to poo-poo it and stuff. Oh, it's a feminist garbage. It's a Barbie movie. What do you expect? What were you expecting? I thought it actually had a nice, interesting take on things, too, because it was done in a satirical way. And, like, I don't know. I think people are reading kind of maybe the wrong thing into it a little bit. Because what I got was that it shows where Ken and Barbie, like, need each other, and they also need their separate identities. And I thought it was an interesting, like, I think just people looking, trying to find stuff to gripe about, because it's just fun, like a trend right now, especially on Twitter, to just make everything cringy. Like, look, like these people trying to say Margot Robbie's mid. In what universe? In what universe? What kind of weird cope is that? Okay, I'm going back with the darkest brown, just kind of building that up a little bit right out here. I don't understand, like, a lot of the commentary about pop culture on Twitter and just this weird vibe going over there that's, like, kind of trying to be counterculture, but it's just very cringe and obviously, like, grifting, and you know these people don't believe anything that they're saying. I just don't understand it. Like, these, anti-woman women that like think women shouldn't be able to vote. Like, what even is that? What even is that? And just saying the most outrageous stuff now. There's this one in particular, commentator or whatever, on Twitter named Pearl. If you want to feel pure rage at somebody, go read their Twitter account. Like, it's like she listened to Andrew Tate too much and decided, I'm going to be Andrew Tate, but I'm a girl, but I'm going to talk to men and basically tell men how awful women are. Like, what kind of game is this? Girl, get a life. And she's out there, like, insulting people's looks. And went a little, like, way too far with one tweet I saw. I clicked on one thing, so it keeps coming up in my feed, because I'm nosy, so I'm going to click on the profile, see what the hell they're talking about, for one thing. And then what happens is the algorithm keeps pushing them into your feed until you mute them or something. So anyways, I keep seeing just the most cringe stuff coming from her, and I'm like, wow. It's all I can do not to, like, reply to her and fuss at her, and then just go off. But I know that's what that content creators like that thrive off of. And I don't want to call her a content creator. She's engagement farming is what she is. She's putting out these really cringe takes, hoping to get people in her replies, because Twitter is paying people now for the ads that appear in their replies. So it's kind of obvious what she's doing. Like, she's also like peddling like Bitcoin and shit like that. Like, it's an obvious grift. So I'm like, don't stoop to that level, don't fall for it. You know what she's doing. But ooh, man, do I want to. I've had too much coffee today. I have had some espresso today, obviously, and him rallying myself up. Okay. We got to move on to another step, because I'm just sitting here like doing the same thing. There's my lighter shade. Don't like that. That was too much. I love how I can make myself mad by thinking about something like that. It's one of those things, like, don't, like, girl, don't let them live rent-free in your brain. These people aren't worth it. They're garbage humans, right? Truly, just the worst. Don't let them live rent-free in your brain. But at the same time, why is this a thing? And I don't think she has any valid arguments to like back up what she says, but she's one of those that she likes to like start fights on Twitter basically, and then try to humiliate people. I don't know. And I've seen some of the girls or women in this, you know, get rid of the right to vote for women crowd, and at least they can like formulate an argument, and they're not just throwing it out there. Like, a couple of them I've come across that have like a whole reason why I don't agree with them. I don't agree with them one bit. I think it's absolutely stupid. And like, do you not realize you wouldn't have the position you have? Like, where are their brains? None. They are just full of nonsense up here. They have brainworms. At least some of them try to formulate an argument. Okay, let's go into this shade right here, the more shimmery one. It's called Icon. Yes. I don't focus that much on stuff like that. Like, I just keep scrolling. But every now and then, it's just like, oh my gosh. So cringe that you can't look away. It's like a train wreck kind of thing. Like, you just kind of can't look away. Alright. gonna put the shade a little bit, focus a little more inward, and we'll blend it up a little bit. That just gives a little bit of like a shine to the lid, but it's not super like glittery metallic. But anyway, I think just because I like am nosy, I've broke my algorithm on Twitter. So I have to go to the follow page to see actually stuff I care about. Because if I just go to my explore page, just some of the worst stuff keeps coming up. And I think I've kind of fixed it because I keep clicking on just cute memes that I like. So it's less Twitter drama. I'm so sick of like just the Twitter drama stuff. And I'm so nosy that I have to see what the deal is. Why are you like this? I saw a meme the other day that says, I'm not gullible enough to join a cult, but I'm nosy enough. And I felt that. I am truly nosy enough to just be like, well, let me see what you got though. Like, let me hear you spill. I am that kind of person that I'll hear it out. I'm not gonna buy into you. I kind of just want to hear it. I just want to know because I'm nosy. And that's the best way to describe myself. Purely nosy. Incredibly skeptical. I'm a very logic-based person. Very analytical about how I think about things. And also very play devil's advocate type. Where I want to hear, like, and try to understand what somebody means by something that sounds outlandish. I'm like, explain. Just let me... I don't know. You know what it does? It just causes me more frustration. And then my other fun trait that I do is I debate myself in my own head, which is also just so fun to do. And I mean, I'm about that about like everything in life too. I'm very like indecisive. I hem and haw and have to go back and forth. But particularly, like, it's very handy to do when you're like shopping, to know what you're what you're purchasing. So like when it comes down to like say car shopping, I'm gonna research the heck out of whatever vehicle I'm interested in. Major appliances. But I'm like that with makeup too. And that's why I like to kind of review makeup and talk about it, because I think that's useful to really break down the pros and cons of a product. Right now, my biggest rabbit hole of research has been about strength training, because I got back into strength training in May, and that's after years of not doing it. I can't remember the last time, honestly, like how long that would be, because my brain doesn't understand the concept of time passage when it comes to like stuff like that. I'm like, a few years ago. It's been a long time. It was well before COVID that I was strength training. And I think I would just start back into it, and then lockdown. And then I had to go to physical therapy, a whole thing. So it took me a while to get back around into getting back in the gym and actually lifting heavy and all that. So I've just been researching and kind of refreshing myself, especially when it comes to form, because I have very precarious back. So I have to be kind of, careful. That's my newest thing, though, is really researching that kind of stuff and seeing what's best to do and best practices and form and how not to injure myself mostly, which I've done already. Doing something I knew good and well not to do, which was letting my butt come off the leg press chair, the seat. I know not to do that. I've known not to do that for 10 years. But what did I do? I did it and hurt my back. And so I had to kind of baby my back a little bit. And then the other day, not even working out, this was on one of my rest days, I squat down to put Pumpkin's leash on her, and I twisted my leg funny and strained my quad, the muscle on top of your leg. This is not the first time I've done this. That particular quad, actually, I tore it about 14 years ago when I was doing roller derby, and twisted weird. So it's had a previous injury, and we're thinking, my brain and my athletic and sports medicine friends and people in medical that I know, we're thinking it probably just irritated the scar tissue, because now it feels fine. But I iced it for a couple days. I could feel like inflammation in it, and it kind of, there was a tightness and like a pulling feel, and it didn't feel like a sore muscle. It was a different kind of hurt, and it was a familiar hurt from tearing that muscle, but it wasn't nearly as bad. So I iced it for a couple days and babied it. Now I'm feeling pretty good. I've gone to the gym since. I just haven't done like a leg focus day. I did more gentle stuff with lower body and focused on like shoulders, back, and upper body stuff. And I did some core things. So I'm trying to not anger that and just be a little gentle. But my next training session is a leg day, so hopefully I don't hurt myself. All right. Okay. I'm gonna leave the eyes here for now, and we're gonna move on to face. I'm just making sure everything looks precise. Sometimes I like to just sit here and like blend and talk, and we'll sit here and just perfect and blend stuff for God knows how long, and then I'm like, oh, how long have I been sitting here blending? What am I doing? Is this brush clean? I've got to wash my brushes. That is something that is definitely on the list of things to do. I've got so much to do this coming week, though. I'm gonna be a busy bunny. Set the eyeshadow aside for now. We'll come back, because I feel like there's probably gonna be something I want to change or correct once I've done my face. Let's move on to the face. Let's have another drink of coffee. Let's do some contour. I'm going to do some underpainting. I'm going to use my Milani Conceal and Perfect Liquid Contour in the shade Honey. I'm just going to throw a little bit of this on. I'm in my robe right now because I don't want to get makeup all over my shirt. Because I'm filming something after this. But I'm not going to spend too much time on the face part, because you've seen it. Just be following basically my underpainting routine from this video here. But anyway, yeah, I do have a super busy week ahead of me. My friend is going to be moving in with us for like probably a month and a half, depending on if the sale of his condo goes through and when it does. He took a job here, so he's going to move in down, and he's got to sell his place and all that, but he's got to start work in early August because he's taking a teaching job. So I've got to get the room sorted for him, like, as in clean out the closet so he can start hanging some clothes, like work clothes. And I've got to clean up in here because I'm going to rip the carpet up in this room. So I got to get everything out of here as well, because I want to do that at the same time. And I'm going to have stuff from the office moved into here just for storage, because this is just, my studio. There's nothing else really. This room isn't used for anything else but my studio, and kind of it's my hidey hole room. But it's also like storage too. It's where all the holiday stuff goes and extra junk. And yeah, so we gotta do some cleaning out in here. There's definitely some stuff I'm gonna be decluttering, getting rid of. And yeah, so that's gonna be a busy week. And then my friend is also gonna be moving that week. And I don't know if I'm gonna go up there with the moving process. He's moving from up north. I don't know if I want to ride 2 hours in a U-Haul and do all that. We'll see. I don't know how that's going to go. But my husband's going up there to pack him up or load up the U-Haul with his stuff. And he doesn't have a ton of stuff. He's cluttered a lot and all that. So yeah, he's going to come next week, bring down like perishables and things he doesn't want to put in storage and that he'll need here. And then they're going to go back together and get everything moved. So we will be kind of busy next week. So I don't know what vlogging is going to look like or content necessarily. It's just going to be a lot going on. I feel like sometimes this looks a little patchy. Occasionally. Like, especially right here. I feel like product doesn't want to stick in this one little spot on my cheek. Does anybody else have a spot like that? I know Alana Davison mentioned having a spot like that. It's like, it's so annoying. Alright, I'm going to do a little bit of cream blush. I'm going to use e.l.f. cream blush in Bahamas, probably. I should memorize these by now. Bahamas. You know what the aliens need to do? Turn the damn AC on the Earth. That might be cool. Too damn hot. I am not made for this kind of heat. Like, I don't like the cold, like super cold. But I'm definitely not cut out for 104 degrees in this humidity in a swamp. Ooh. It's so wet, it's so hot. It is kind of awful. Like, it makes you want to be on a night schedule so you don't have to be awake during the day. Because like, if you go outside at night, it's not bad. I'm like, oh, you know, it gets down to like 80. Still tolerable. But yeah, today I think it was like 104. And it's going to be like that for the next week. Love it. What's funny is my dog freaking loves it. She cries to go outside right now because she likes the hot. She likes to lay on the concrete in the heat and just stretch out. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, not in the sun, but like the concrete under the carport. She just lays out and she's just happy as can be. Like, happy as a clam. I'm like, girl, there's sweat dripping down my back. I need to go in the house. I don't want to sit outside with you all day. My phone is overheating. My phone actually overheated the other day. I've never had that happen on this phone. My old phone used to do that every now and then. I've never had it happen on my newer one. The S21 or whatever it is. Galaxy something rather. I don't know the name of my own damn phone. Alright, do some concealer. I'm gonna use a little bit of the Milk makeup. Anyway, it was so hot outside. Like, it didn't pop up saying it was overheated, but it was so hot outside, it was like, it couldn't tell my fingers touching the screen, and it was just like, nah. It just like froze. Like, oh, okay. Well, I guess we will go cool off now. I was outside for maybe 20 minutes, and I was on the phone with my dad, so the screen kind of like weirdly hot. And my dad's got like a summer cold right now, or had a summer cold. A lot of people are getting colds, which is like, oh, the worst. I don't know why. I think a summer cold is definitely worse than any other type of cold. Something about being hot and being sick at the same time is just not it. It is the worst. It just seems wrong. So he was all sniffly and runny nose and coughing. But they told him it was just a cold. It's been going around. Oh, I better check under my eyes for fallout real quick. But yeah, a few of my friends were talking about having summer colds. I saw on Facebook and around. God, I hate having a summer cold. There's an episode of Metalocalypse where they get summer colds, and I don't know, that episode just tickled me, and it's like stuck in my brain ever since because of that. I also think it's funny how angry people are over Twitter changed its name to X, or Elon changed it to X. Why do you care that much? It's just a freaking app. They act like it's like personally affecting them in their heart, or like gonna have some major impact on their life. It's like, it's just rebranding. It's not that big a deal. Dear goodness. Get a life. Like, seriously, like, that's like get a life level stuff. Like, you know, memes are funny and all, but like people who are seriously like acting personally offended about this, I'm like, wow, you must not have anything going on outside of this app. Kind of depressing. You know how they say, go touch grass? those might be the people that need to go touch grass. Alright, then let's do some foundation. I'm going to use this one from Bare Minerals. This is the original liquid mineral foundation. Because it's super glowy. That's why I'm using it. I'm basically going to use it to kind of balance out like these contrasting shades that I got going on. Because I used to really like concealer. And then like, you know, the cream blush and the everything. This is going to merge it all together and make it work. And I'm actually going to use a sponge. I haven't used a sponge in a little while. But I just bought some new ones. So I'm going to start by just applying it round, and then we will blend from there. I just had the craving to use a sponge. I've been on like a brush kick for a while now. Alright, everything's just merging together. Looking nice. This is one of those foundations that's good for like underpainting and all that because it's kind of, it's not super duper full coverage. It has a sheerness to it. Because I think underpainting doesn't work with every single foundation. Like some just lend themselves a little bit better to it than others. This is one of the ones I think that work really well. Like particularly like the serum type foundations and lighter coverage ones. Just, I don't know. They just play well with it. Alright, and that is complete. I'm going to set everything down with some powder. I'm going to use a little bit of the Makeup Revolution powder under the eyes. Now, you know what? We're going to stick with the e.l.f. Halo Glow powder for today. Because I want to be glowy. Ooh, before we do that, I'm going to put a little more Halo Glow on the high points of my cheeks. I just remembered I wanted to do that. And kind of like in the higher points. And we'll just pop that out. Alright, I'm going to take the Halo Glow setting powder now. I have this in the shade Light. And this will give the skin a bit more of a creamy look rather than overtly glowy. Finish up the lower lash line really quickly and do any adjustments on the eyes. I feel like they look a little too coolish. I want a little more warmth in there, but not a ton. So I'm going to grab a fluffy brush first. And go back to that lightest shade, the one called the Camel Color. Just bring a little bit more of that around. Just want a touch more warmth in there than this. Like we're leaning almost a little too black, brown, cool. And across the lower lash line, I'm gonna grab a little small, teeny tiny baby brush. A bit of that darkest black first, or darkest brown. Into the empties. R.I.P. This is a great liner, the Huda Creamy Coal. Used it up way too quickly though. Let me dig out another brown liner. This little boy from Marc Jacobs, we can use it up. Essentially the same color. Soften it up a little bit. I'll let my outer corner quit watering for a minute. And we'll go ahead and do some bronzer. We'll come back to the lower lash line. I hate when they start doing this little leaking on the outer corner. So annoying. Alright, bronzer. I'm going to take NARS Laguna. And you know, my brushes all have pink on them too. My face brushes. Bring some warmth into the skin. And like with the latte makeup, I'm going to stay tonal with the face. So it's going to be a little bronzer heavy. Alright, fluffy brush. I'm going to take some of the bronzer. Right around here. And that really just lets everything flow together nicely. Alright, I'm going to do some blush now. Just going to let my eyes calm down a little more. They are just like, nah, we want to be watery. I'm going to take an e.l.f. blush. This is one of their primer infused blushes in the shade Always Cheeky. It's a very light yellowy peach. I'm mixing matte and glowy products so it's not overkill. Like this blush is matte, the bronzer is matte, but we have glowy foundation and a glowy powder. So it's kind of a balancing act. And I like to take a little bit of this towards the eyes as well. And a little around whatever's left on the brush. Taking a bit of the camel shade right in here. Just bring a little more of that in. And we're gonna hit the lower lash line. Again, small brush. Taking that deepest brown. Focusing it right out here and letting it come up to join the upper lash line or the upper lid. All right, we'll take the more of a satin shimmer shade, bring that long and soften it up. And we'll take some of the camel and run that just underneath and really blend all that out and let it just be smoky. I'm going to take just a tiny bit of this shade called Fierce. It's like a coppery tone. Maybe I'll put a little bit just right in here, see how that looks. Just add like a little bit of a glow. I feel like I just need a little something. Again, my eyes are watering, so yeah, kind of try to dab that. Yeah, I kind of like the way that little bit of copper on the inner part looks. I'm gonna just put just a touch more. Just a nice little contrast. And that's pretty much the eyes done. Very just smoky, smoky, dramatic. And I'm gonna add a little bit of highlighter on the cheeks. I'm gonna grab this. This is Queen Bee from Melt Cosmetics. This is one of their digital dust blushes. I'm just gonna take a little swirl into both just a little bit. I'm just gonna kind of graze them around. Okay, I'm somewhere in between the blush and bronze, just to bring a little more glow in and some warmth. I'm taking a little bit more from just the copper side here. Bronzy side, I guess. Here we go. That looks good. This is one of those looks I think is fun because you can just dig in your collection, just kind of play and go with the flow and see what feels right. I love just doing these kind of looks where it's no real set anything. I'm just kind of just playing and painting. I feel like that just was kind of a nice little finishing touch there with that. I think that gave the whole cheek area just a really nice glow. I don't feel like I really need a full-on, like, legit highlight now. I feel like that kind of did the job, and we just have a nice overall kind of glowy skin. Let me touch my brows up quickly. I'm gonna do a little mascara, curled lashes. Just had my lash curler. Where'd you go? How do I lose this lash curler so often? Like, where does it just go? It just like runs away. Whatever. We're gonna. Oh, it's right here. It was right there. Curl lashes. Do some of the YSL Lash Clash. My dad used to hate when I would do like super smoky eyes when I was in junior high. To be honest, I was like 14, 15. Just piling on the eyeshadow. And he was just like, your eyes look like two little black holes. I'm like, I know. Okay, and I'm gonna sort my hair out and we'll be back. For lips, I'm also gonna get dressed. Get properly dressed. Okay, we're back. Hair has been sorted. Eye has calmed down for the like third time now. And I put my shirt on for the day, which is white, and that's why I waited. And we're gonna take a little bit of the black liner. We've switched to a black liner now. And just right on that outer corner. I feel like black liner works with this. Okay, we are done with the eyes. I'm gonna stop, I promise. So what's left? Setting spray. Let's do some setting spray. And this will really bring back some of the glow. And for lips, I'm actually gonna do something a little more chill. I'm gonna use this lip liner from Anastasia Beverly Hills in Cool Brown. I think is gonna be the one I'm going with. All right, and I'm gonna take a little brush here, and I'm just gonna soften that. So it's kind of a diffused look to it. And I'm gonna take this lippy from Wet n Wild. I love this thing right here. This is one of the Rose Comfort lip colors, and this is in the shade Pecan Glaze. These are basically a dupe of the new little lippy things that MAC came out with, everybody's on about. And there we go, that's the lips. Very coffee-like, huh? Without being an in-your-face color. It's a little more subtle for me. Like usually if I'm doing like a coffee type look, I'm like espresso type look, I'm going in with the coffee brown lip. And I feel like this one's a little more wearable, a little more restrained, and it's glossy. It's got softness to it. And just, I don't know, it feels right. It feels right with the look. Right, and this is espresso makeup. What do you guys think? I know it was a little bit of a journey. It's been a journey lately with the last couple of videos of makeup where I'm just, because I'm experimenting, I'm kind of just sitting down playing, and I don't have a clear game plan in what I'm doing. I'm just kind of winging it. And yeah, I think I like the way this came out. This feels like espresso makeup. Anyway, yeah, let me know your thoughts below on this. We're gonna do matcha makeup next, and you know that's just another excuse to play with the Yucca palette. Who are we kidding? That's for me. Anyway, yeah, so that is all for today. Let me know down below if there's any more little color story trend things that you would like to see me play with and dig in my collection and stash and see what we can come up with. Let me know, because I thoroughly enjoy these more color-based trends over product trends. I think it's a lot of fun, and it just kind of is a step away from just pure consumerism and a little something different. So anyway, that's all for today. Thank you for hanging out with me. Oh, and let me know your thoughts on aliens down below. Let me know. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next one. Stay safe and stay spooky. Bye now.